Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed stresses the importance of further cooperation among Gulf educational and scientific institutions to achieve desired goals of the sector. Achieving quality in admission procedures among GCC countries is the most prominent recommendation of a GCC Higher Education Ministers Committee meeting. Vice-Chancellor of Sultan Qaboos University stresses that SQU is adopting a development strategy in its curricula to upgrade the academic level and competitiveness among more than 30,000 international universities. And the Message of Islam from Oman exhibition continues its global tour in Macedonia. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in reply to His Majesty's cable of condolences on the death of His Royal Highness Prince Fahd bin Mohammed bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Majesty the Sultan has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Rajkesh Puriag of Mauritius on his country's National Day. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, today received Their Excellencies, the heads of the delegations participating in the 17th meeting of the Committee of the Ministers of Higher Education and Scientific Research of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. His Highness expressed appreciations for efforts they exerted in developing education and research, stressing the importance of further cooperation among Gulf educational and scientific institutions to achieve desired goals of the sector. His Highness also viewed progress of education in the Sultanate and the care it attained from His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, which was embodied in qualitative expansion witnessed by the sector and efforts being exerted to upgrade its levels in line with long-term future vision. His Highness clarified that education is the main pillar of the progress of nations and their prosperities, and investment in education and research fields is considered a priority to go along with scientific progress. Talks also covered a number of matters tabled on the meeting agenda, topped by joint investment in education and a recommendation of setting up an office concerned with educational quality as well as academic accreditation of the Council countries, with its premises in Muscat, as well as mechanism to deal with false universities and academic unions and ways of strengthening the citizenship among people of the Council countries, in addition to developing curricula and providing databases and encouraging the move of scientific research, as well as the upgrade the level of graduates. Their Excellencies, the guests expressed their profound thanks for the Sultan's efforts and its good preparation for the meeting, which contributed in reaching numerous positive and constructive results, forwarding their greetings and best wishes to His Majesty the Sultan of continued success and praising achievements on the Omani soil of progress and development. The meeting was attended by Her Excellency Dr. Rawia bint Saud Al-Busaidia, Minister of Higher Education, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Abdul Khaliq Al-Qarni, Director General of Arab Education Office of the Gulf countries, and His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Ejima Shibli, Assistant Secretary General for Economic and Development Affairs at the Secretariat General of the Gulf Cooperation Council. During its 17th meeting in Muscat, the Committee of the Gulf Cooperation Council higher education ministers and scientific research came up with appropriate recommendations to activate joint education investment and achieve quality procedures of admission and treatment at the government higher education institutions. The ministers stressed on the importance of following up the project of Gulf Network for Quality guarantee and encouraging educational activity among GCC higher education institutions. They further forwarded a cable of thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the Sultan, valuing his support as well as the Majesties and Highnesses, the leaders of the GCC countries, to the process of education. His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Saud al-Bimani, Vice-Chancellor of Sultan Qaboos University, stressed in a statement to Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television that Sultan Qaboos University is adopting a development strategy in its curriculum aiming to upgrade the academic level and competitiveness among more than 30,000 international universities. He added that the level of universities is measured by the quality of the education subjects and the graduates, as well as admitting students at abroad universities and the satisfaction of a job market of the outcome of the university. The Ministry of Health has decided to close Al-Nahda Hospital as a precautionary measure and postponed appointment visits to the specialized clinic at the hospital tomorrow, Thursday, due to expectations of the Sultanate's weather will be affected by a condition these days. The ministry mentioned that some inpatients at internal wings were moved to the Royal Hospital and inpatients at surgery wings were moved to Khawla Hospital. At the same time, the ministry cautioned emergency cases of ophthalmic, ENT and dentistry to proceed to Khawla Hospital and the Royal Hospital for emergency cases of internal medicine, dermatology and pediatrics. Within the aim to find successful solutions and to discuss challenges and difficulties with faced poultry production projects top discussions at the first Poultry Production Forum in the Sultanate. His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar al-Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, presided over the ceremony, who met today with owners of small and medium enterprises, SMEs, in the field of poultry production projects and discussed with them the obstacles facing this sector. His Excellency Dr. Al-Sajwani said in a statement that he had listened to the owners of these projects to provide the necessary services to them and identify the main difficulties facing them. He explained that the Sultanate produces a third of required quantities of poultry and about 45% of the eggs. He pointed out that there are many important initiatives in this area, as an initiative of Oman Food Investment Holding and Oman Flour Mills Company, Atyab. In addition to the private sector companies' initiatives, he affirmed that these projects are sufficient to achieve a self-sufficiency of these important food products. The Board of Directors of the Public Authority for Radio and Television approved to apply the system of performance measure indicators to assess work in the authority and to develop it in line with various strategies of the authority, its goals and plans. The board, of its first meeting of the year, viewed financial status of the current budget and capital budget of last year, as well as prepared budget for the year 2015, in addition to position of growth budget of the current 5-year plan and projects positions. The meeting also discussed the authority's annual report and expressed its appreciation for the role being performed by employees of the authority in its various sectors and administrative units, as well as its national roles that contribute in highlighting various aspects of development in the Sultanate. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser al-Harrasi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television. Still to come in our news bulletin. Cobra Colors exhibition reviews European art movement in the 20th century. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. In order to disseminate the values of understanding, coexistence and dialogue among people in the world, the Message of Islam from Oman exhibition continues its global tour. This time, the exhibition's activities were held in the Macedonian capital Skopje. The inauguration ceremony the exhibition was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Zoran Ilveski, advisor of the Macedonian President for Political Affairs, and attended by a number of Arab and foreign diplomats and people interested in religions and cultures. As part of the exhibition's activities, Sheikh Benjamin Idris, chairman of Islamic Civilization Establishment in Macedonia, gave a speech in which he expressed his thanks to the Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs, for holding this exhibition. Then a Macedonian lecturer presented a work paper titled Philosophical Vision about the East and the West. The Royal Air Force of Oman held a ceremony for the graduation of basic military training course at the grounds of Sultan Qaboos Air Academy. The event included review of the first row of the graduates, who also performed a slow military march accompanied by music of Royal Air Force of Oman. That was followed by a silent march and weapons movement and presenting of appreciation prizes to the toppers. The ceremony was presided over by Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of Royal Navy of Oman. 15% decline of accidents in the Sultanate in January, according to the latest statistics by the National Center for Statistics and Information. The center emphasized that a decline in death rates by 15% and injuries by 68% during the same period. Statistics also recorded a decline in the number of accidents in January, which amounted to 483 accidents, registering a decrease compared to the same month of 2014, which witnessed 568 accidents. With the aim to enrich the Omani electronic content and contribution to highlight touristic, cultural and historical potentials of wilayas of the Sultanate, the Information Technology Authority concluded a wilayati competition in which 76 participants took part by 60 projects, developing 21 applications of smartphones and 39 e-sites, highlighting touristic, cultural and historical landmarks of various wilayas of the Sultanate. The concluding end was presided over by His Excellency Engineer Khalid bin Hilal Al-Busaidi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Interior. Omani Geological Society marked its annual day, during which results of geological challenge competition among Sultan's University students were announced. 40 students took part in the competition, where the team of Sultan Qaboos University earned the first place, followed by the team of German University of Technology came in the second place. The competition included geological survey of Wadi Bani Kharous and production of geological petroleum model of oil deposits in the Sultanate. The event was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Hamid bin Saeed Al-Ofi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth for Fisheries Wealth. Training and qualifying candidates for Shura Council topped the initiative of Your Vote, Your Choice. The initiative started its program with a training workshop in Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. More details in the following report by Saif bin Khalfan Al-Kendi.
Your Voice, Your Choice is the main theme aiming at enabling young generation to cope with the Shura elections and qualifying candidates to prepare their electoral program. The content of the seminar held in Oman Commerce and Industry Chamber included the election strategies and tools used to present the electoral program. Basima Al-Rajhiya, one of the entrepreneurs considering the quality of candidates for the coming elections. She said,
"This training program aims at training young generations of candidates to encourage them to play a wider role in the coming elections and making them more capable to use the legislative tools."
Meanwhile, voting concepts and knowledge have been introduced during the session and ways of promoting candidates using social media and several media tools. For the long term, this social initiative aims to train candidates and qualify them to meet the legislative and auditing performance of Shura members. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, Muscat.
Upgrading the level of youth activities in the governorate was the focus of the meeting of His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of the FAR, with the participants in the International Shooting Competition of Dubai. He met administration of Al Nasser Club on the occasion of earning His Majesty Sultan Qaboos Cup for Hockey 2014. He also met administration of Salala Club on the occasion of winning the first place of the Sultanate's Club Tournament of Omani Traditional Games and Sports for the year 2014, and Minister of State and the Governor of the FAR expressed pride of the governorate for the achievements realized by its sons. Chairmen and members of Municipal Council in the Governorate of Zahira visited villages of the Wilaya of Ibri to follow the citizens' requirements existing and the proposed project. During the visit, they listened to the citizens and their needs. The municipal members were accompanied by His Excellency the Wali of Ibri and Shura Council members of the Wilaya. The citizens called upon to develop internal roads and lighting them, establish souks, provide drinking water, as well as establish health centers. In cooperation with Cobra Museum for Modern Art in Amsterdam, Cobra Colors exhibition was opened in Beit Al Zubair. The event, which is the first in the Sultanate, showcases European art movement in the 20th century through the work of some European artists who lived in that period. The exhibition, which attracted many arts fans, is a great chance for Omani artists to get acquainted with these artistic experiences. The inauguration ceremony of the exhibition was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamid Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As part of its plans to support Omani entrepreneurs, ORPIC company organized an orientation meeting on its services for small and medium enterprises in the governorate of Brahmi. The event was also attended by a number of male and female students of Brahmi University College. The meeting highlighted support given to Omani entrepreneurs by the company and its roles in serving the community. It also focused on investment opportunities adopted by ORPIC in its strategic plan 2014-2018 and ways to help and communicate with small and medium enterprises. To activate a role of activities and programs of the Gulf Traffic Week, Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Dakhliya organized a seminar on traffic safety in the Wilaya of Nizwa. The seminar tackled aspects related to traffic rules on roads besides a view of indicators that showed a size of exerted efforts by various sectors in the society and institutions that related on limiting traffic accidents and their effects. The seminar's activities were presided over by Honorable Dr. Ibrahim bin Hamoud As-Subhi, member of the State Council. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed stresses the importance of further cooperation among Gulf educational and scientific institutions to achieve the desired goals of the sector. Achieving equality in admission procedures among GCC countries is the most prominent recommendation of a GCC Higher Education Ministers Committee meeting. Vice-Chancellor of Sultan Qaboos University stresses that SQU is adopting a development strategy in its curriculum to upgrade the academic level and competitiveness among more than 30,000 international universities. And the Message of Islam from Oman exhibition continues its global tour in Macedonia. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studio and the newsroom, it's good night.